And take a moment just to come into your body, come into your space. Good. And then actually, let's place one hand on our heart and just one hand like on your abdominals. It can be upper or lower, whatever feels best seated here. And just breathe into your hands. So take a nice big deep inhale in. Take a nice big exhale out. Inhaling in. Big exhale out through your mouth. Good. Inhaling in. Big exhale out. And take a few more just like that. Breathing into your hands and exhaling out. And once you feel like you've got like this nice cleansing breath out, start to slow your breath down and see if you can practice breathing in and out through your nose. And close your eyes if you haven't closed them already, or just keep your focus down towards the ground. And once you've found that rhythm of your breath, gently just drop your hands into your lap or onto your knees. And continue breathing this way. That feels calming, feels intuitive, relaxing, but it also feels free. And keeping that freedom idea in your practice today. All right, like what does it feel like to be free, to have space, to feel open, moving without any constraint, okay? And that might mean using your props today. It might mean adding like a blanket or extra cushion under your knees. Okay, so remembering, you know, when you're moving in a way that feels good, you're moving in a way that feels free. It feels safe, and it feels just really good, right? So again, listen to your body, listen to what you need. And you can always come back to this place of just finding stillness, finding your breath. Okay, good. And then you can keep your eyes closed if you like, or you can open them. We're just going to start with head circles here. So we're just going to circle the head, maybe just, you know, half circle, maybe from just like side to side, ear to shoulder. Okay, if it feels okay, you could maybe do full complete circles. I'm going to do little half circles here at first, and then I'm going to open up and do some full circles. And as you're moving in this way, maybe notice like, oh, does my neck have tension, or is it actually like my traps and in my back? Notice how you're sitting, right? If you're pulling on your knees, if you're slouching, can you sit up a little bit taller? Can you sit right on top of your sit bones? All right, and I'm just going to start to add full circles now. And then I'll slowly reverse the circles, just making sure to move in the opposite direction. Good. And once you feel nice and complete, bring your head back in line with your spine. And we're going to lift our shoulders up by our ears. And then slowly shrug your shoulders down. Nice and slow. Good. Shrug your shoulders up by your ears. And gently shrug your shoulders down. Let's do that one more time. Up by your ears. And slowly release your shoulders down. Good. Okay, we're gonna make circles moving forward. Okay, so we're gonna pinch our shoulder blades together. We're gonna creep our shoulders up by our ears and then roll them forward. Okay, we'll just do that, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 times, just rolling the shoulders forward. Good. Okay, and I love rolling my shoulders in this way because I get a nice stretch through like my rhomboids and between my scapula. Okay. However, when we're sitting, we want to sit with our shoulders back, right? So now we'll go the opposite way. So we're going to roll our shoulders up by our ears, bring our shoulder blades together to open up through the chest, and then we'll roll our shoulders back again about 3 or 4 times in this way. Again, remembering having that nice open space through your chest. Okay, awesome. Okay, good. I'm going to switch the cross of my legs. Okay, and we're gonna do the exact same thing, okay? So we're gonna just do some head circles, maybe half ones, little half moons. Good. And then maybe you feel even more open now that you're like, I can just go straight into circles, okay? Good, or not, you can always stay here. This is a nice stretch, doing these half circles. And again, just checking in with like how you're seated, what's your spine doing? Okay, and when we're moving in a way like this, you know, check in with your breath. It's easy for us to have like that nice calming, full, deep breath here. Good, and I'm just reversing the circle. Okay, great. Okay, and then again, once you feel nice and complete, bring your head back in line with your spine. We're going to reach our arms down by our sides, palms turn up, reaching the arms up over your head. Interlacing the hands, pressing the palms up towards the sky. And again, remember, this does not have to be like directly towards the sky. It can be diagonal in front of your forehead. Okay, good. Release your arms to bring them back behind you. Interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders, lift your chest and your heart. And then see if you can reach those knuckles back and up off of the floor, right? And again, they may touch the floor, that's fine. Maybe you can't lift them up, that's okay. Just practicing lifting up through those shoulders and the chest. Okay, good. We're just going to move through that again. Arms reach up over your head. Interlacing your hands, pressing your palms up towards the sky. Diagonal. Good. All is perfect. Check in with those shoulders. Releasing your arms, interlacing your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders, lift your chest and your heart. Reach those knuckles back. Good. Last time, release the arms. Arms reach back up over your head. Interlacing your hands, pressing your palms up towards the sky. Maybe you have a little more space this time. Good. Releasing your arms, interlacing your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders, lift your chest and your heart. Nice. Woo, okay, good. Release your arms. Good. Moving your legs into Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees out nice and wide. Okay, good. I'm just going to kind of, again, wiggle a little bit just so I'm right on top of my sit bones. And let's just gently fold forward. Again, once you kind of find your, like, you know, center line, gently round over, release over for your hips here. Good. And just breathe. Again, find that freedom of your breath. Right? And here, again, if you wanted to use a pillow, you can have it under your chest or even blocks. Okay, you don't have to go down as far as you think you need to. Just going again where you have that space and that freedom in your movement. Okay, and then from here, we're going to walk our hands over towards the right leg. Okay, so gently walk your hands around. My hands are going to frame, you know, my knee-ish, okay? And then I'm just going to round over here. And again, I'm still grounding through my left sit bone. It doesn't have to be directly side. It can be, you know, again, it's like a diagonal to the right here. Good, and just rounding over. And again, breathing. Notice where you feel this. Is it in your hip? Is it in your back body? Maybe, you know, I've been trying to practice moving beyond the surface of my body, you know, like my muscles. And I'm like, ooh, I really feel this like in my lungs or in my kidneys, you know, because our practice, you know, works internally as well too, gets to massage, you know, our organs. Yeah, and it's really beneficial. Our circulatory system, the blood flowing. Okay, good. And then let's slowly just walk the hands back to the center. And then we'll gently walk our hands around that left leg, that left knee mainly. And again, it's more diagonal than directly side. Okay, so that, again, we can really focus on like the outer right hip. And again, like the kidneys, the lungs. Even noticing like how your throat's relaxing as you breathe here. Good. A few more deep breaths here. And then we'll slowly walk our hands back to the center and we'll gently rise back up, coming back up to seated, okay? And let's actually extend this left leg out to the side. And I'll just keep this right leg. Right leg can be loose, it can stay in Baddha Konasana, or you can bring it in towards your left inner thigh. Okay, and this is something we've worked on a couple times in class, but it's gonna, again, just be all about the neck, okay? And I'm adding just like a little wave of my hand back and forth. And again, that's totally optional as you wave here, but we're gonna bring this left hand in the inside of the left leg. And again, it's a very small pitch to the left, towards the left leg, okay? Again, not hamstring stretch yet, okay? Just slight little bend. And you wanna drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Right hand can stay on your right knee. And again, you wanna sit up nice and tall. So you're really grounded and rooted through your sit bones. And again, it's just a really small pinch to the left. And then it's all about the head, neck, and shoulders here. Okay. And again, staying here, or we're gonna add that little wave, okay? So right hand is going to extend out. And then again, we're just gonna wave our hand just back and forth, really slowly. And again, this is a great place to really use your breath. Breathing in nice and full, and then nice slow exhales out. Really nice, everyone. Okay, great. And then we're gonna slowly use that left hand to help lift the head up. Whoop. And then we'll just switch sides. Okay, right leg out, left leg in. Good, sitting up nice and tall. And again, right hand on the inside of the right leg. And it's very small. You can see I'm like barely moving a little bit to the right. And then I'm gonna bring my right ear to my right shoulder, keeping my shoulders dropping down. Good. And then just pausing here. Breathing. Okay, good. And then when you're ready, extending that left hand out, and then you can wave softly and gently and slowly. Good. Really nice, everyone. Good. Really thinking about this like being like a nice massage. I know it may not feel like it in the moment. Okay, great. And then when you're ready, you'll slowly come back up to center. You can use that right hand to lift your head back up. Great, and then we're just gonna make our way into all fours. Okay, so just take your time coming up into tabletop. Good, and then just making your way, in and out of cat and cow here. Okay, just noticing again like how your shoulders feel, how does your neck, your spine. Okay, good. And then I'm just going to add this in just because I'm starting to feel like I need this for my upper back. Okay, so coming into neutral tabletop, let's like reach this right arm up towards the sky. Good. Take a nice big deep inhale in. Exhaling, threading the needle, right arm under the left, dropping down onto your right shoulder. Good. Left hand can stay under your left shoulder, or you can extend the left arm up towards the top of the mat or up towards the sky, and even come into the bind if that feels okay on your shoulders, okay? We're gonna stay for 5 deep breaths here, okay? So inhaling in, exhaling out. Good, inhaling in for 2. Exhaling out, squaring the hips, inhaling in for 3. Exhaling out. 2 more breaths, inhaling in. Exhaling out. Good, last one, inhaling in. Exhaling out. Slowly unwinding your arm. Placing it back under your left shoulder will gently unwind. Arm reaches back up towards the sky. And exhaling, lowering back down. Good, left arm reaches up, so a nice big twist open here. Threading the needle, left arm under the right. Dropping onto your shoulder, and again, try to square your hips as best as you can. And then picking whatever arm position feels good for your body. And you can do a variation of them all as well too, okay? And then 5 slow, deep breaths here. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Nice full breath in. Big release out. Halfway there. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Last 2. Good. Last one. Good. Gently unwinding that top arm. Placing it under your right shoulder to unwind. Again, take your time, nice and slow. And then planting your hands back down, tabletop. Okay, good. Right leg reaches back behind you. Okay, toes down, heel up, and just rock forward and backwards just a few times. Get a nice stretch through the calf and the ankle. Okay, good. Shoulders over your wrists. Start to float the right leg up, just nice and gentle. And again, really focus on toes down, heel up. Okay, good. And we're only going to work with the width of our mat here, okay? So we're going to take the right leg, we're going to cross it up and over to the left, trying to tap the left side of the mat. Right leg lifts up, and then we're just going to tap the outside of the right side of the mat. There we go. So just nice and small movement, okay? So we're crossing over the left leg to tap, lifting up, and then just little small tap to the outside of the mat on the right side. Good, just back and forth. Here's 3. Nice and slow. Here's 4. We'll just do 5 of them, okay? Good. Here's 4. Good. Last one. 5. Tapping. Lifting up, tapping to the outside. Good. Tap to the center. Lift the leg back up. Bend the knee. So we're flexing the foot towards the sky. Okay, and then we're going to circle 5 times. So circle the right leg any direction. And again, this can be small. It does not have to be big, but it does have to be slow. Okay. Here's 2. Good. 3. And remember, at any point, this is bothering your wrist, you can always do this lowering down onto your forearms. Okay. 1 more circle in this direction. Good. And then we'll reverse the circle. 5 circles in the opposite direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower that right knee down. Awesome. And we're just going to switch sides. Left leg reaches back, toes down, heel up. And again, rocking forward and backwards a few times. Get into the calf and the ankle. And again, remember, we're moving a little smaller, so we're moving the width of our mat. So we're going to tap to each side of the mat here. Okay. So again, once you find your shoulders over your wrist, float the left leg up, and again, readjust, toes down, heel up, abdominals in, feel yourself press away from the floor, so you're nice and strong here. Good, and then we're gonna take that left leg, we're gonna tap it up and over to the right. Good, and then we're gonna come back and tap it over to the left. Again, nice and small, just the width of your mat, tapping to right, to left. And again, we're just doing this 5 times. So here's 3, tap, lift up, and tap. Here's 4. Slow and controlled. Here's 5. Good. Tap back into that neutral. Lift the leg back up. Bend the knee to flex the foot towards the ceiling. And again, 5 slow circles. Okay, go to your range. And again, these can be small, they can be big, but just do them nice and slow. Good, here's 3. Good, here's 4. And 5. Good, reverse. 5 circles in the opposite direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that left knee down, and let's come into a child's pose. Woo! I don't know about you, but I really felt that in my supporting legs rather than like the working leg today. Good. Take a moment here in your child's pose. Just rest for a moment. Okay, good. Okay, from here, okay, let's go ahead and come on up into downward facing dog. Okay, and then as we're coming into downward dog, if you need to grab, you know, a blanket or a towel for extra padding on the knees, we're gonna do some low lunges here next. And again, if you need just like, you know, a little extra cushion, you can grab that now while we're hanging out here in our downward dog, okay? So just take a few deep breaths. Feel free, of course, to pedal your feet out, sway your hips from side to side. Anything that feels good here in down dog. Okay, good. Woo! My arms feel good. My shoulders feel open. And surprisingly, my hamstrings feel open. My calves are so tight today. All right, so again, just checking in with, you know, what you're working with today. Okay, let's take a nice big deep inhale in. Exhaling, we're gonna lower back down onto our knees. Okay, we're gonna step the left foot forward, coming into low lunge. And again, this is where if you need any extra padding for your knees, go ahead and grab that, okay? So coming into low lunge, bending the left knee, okay, rolling the shoulders, hands can stay on that left quad, or you can reach the arms up towards the sky. Okay, whatever feels good here. Good, just breathe. Okay, left hand down onto your quad. Okay, we're gonna lean a pinch over to the left. And then, you know, again, we're working with like the side angle with our head here. So if you want to drop your head and you can catch it with your right hand and you kind of cradle it, you can get a little extra stretch through that right side body just by holding your head a little bit and letting your head go, okay? And again, only if it feels good. If it doesn't, you can stay right here, okay? Good, a few more deep breaths. Okay, good. Inhaling in, exhaling, releasing, bringing both hands around that left foot. We're gonna press back into half split, flexing the toes up towards the sky. Good, nice full deep breath. Okay, go. Let's do 3 circles here with our ankle. Okay, I know it's a little awkward, but 3 circles. 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll circle in the opposite direction. 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. Good. Okay, we're going to bend back into this left leg. Okay, we're going to walk our hands around the left, towards the center of the left foot, excuse me. And then we're just going to come on up into like our kneeling, like half warrior 2. Okay, so it's just like a little kneeling pose here. Good. We're gonna just come into, we're not gonna do any warriors. We're gonna come into side planking gait pose. Okay, so we're gonna straighten the left leg and we're gonna turn the toes forward, okay, as best as you can towards like the side of your mat. Arms reach out to the side. Right arm's gonna reach in line with your right hip, left arm up towards the sky, okay? And then this is the pose. Toes can be tucked under or pointed back, whatever feels good, okay? And just a little more strengthening work here, okay? If you can, we're gonna lift this top leg. Again, it can be a pinch, it can be as high as your hip, okay? Whatever feels good, okay? 5 little kicks here, okay? We're gonna, little hamstring curls. We're gonna bring that left heel towards our glute and extend it back out. Good, just like a little balancing. Here's 2. Good, 3, 4, last one, good. Extend back out, lower that left foot down. We're gonna come back up and then we're gonna come into gait pose, left hand down, right arm up. Okay, so then there's that counter opposite stretch that we did on the ground, now up to like kneeling, okay. And gait, it's a little more of that right side body. Good, take a nice big deep inhale in. Exhale, we're gonna come on up, okay? We're going to just pivot back around towards that left foot. And again, just be mindful, take your time. We're going to step back. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting so excited. We're going to actually walk, we're gonna stay in this lunge. We're gonna walk the left foot out to the left side of the mat. Okay, we're gonna dip the hips and we're gonna come into lizard's pose. Only for a moment, okay? We're not gonna stay here super long. Again, I just want us to get like a little bit into the quads and into that psoas and the hip flexors. So again, if you want to lower down onto blocks, pillows, go for it. You can also just stay upright. That's totally fine. Okay. We're going to stay here just for 5 deep breaths, okay? It's your choice to stay here in lizard, or you can move into the quad stretch. Again, I'm going to move into the quad stretch. I'm going to bend my right knee, okay? Today, I don't really feel like grabbing it, so I'm just gonna stay here, okay? But if you want to, you can take that left hand, grab your foot or your ankle, a strap, or you can just stay square, okay? Yeah, a little bit goes a long way in this pose, and again, if you need any extra cushioning, definitely use it, okay? Okay. All right, I think that's 5 breaths. Let's go ahead and lower down. Good. Okay, and we're gonna come back to center. Now we're gonna come back to downward dog. How could I forget the most important pose, the lizard pose? Okay, just take your time. Downward dog is optional. Child's pose is also a wonderful pose. Take child's pose if you need to. Good. Inhaling in, exhaling out. Let's stay for one more breath. Inhale in. Exhale out, lower back down onto your knees. Okay, and then we're just going to switch sides. Okay, so right leg steps forward, low lunge. You can always come in from downward dog also. Okay, again, bending into that right knee. Hands can stay down, arms can reach up over your head. Good, let's breathe. I'm just gonna change directions here, okay, you guys, good. Good, right hand down. Gentle lean over towards the right. And then again, catching your head, cradling your head with your left hand, if that feels all right. Good, nice full deep breath. Okay, good. Let's rise back up, framing your front foot, extending the leg, half split, flexing through the toes. Okay, great. And then 3 circles with the ankle. Just 3 times in one direction. And then 3 times in the opposite direction. Few more deep breaths here. Good, and we're gonna bend back into that right leg. Hands on the inside of the right foot. We're gonna spin around to the left knee. And again, you just gotta kind of square off here a little bit, coming into stacking. Okay, And then we'll straighten the right leg, turn the toes in so we can come into our little side plank. Okay, left hand down, right arm up towards the sky. And then again, lift your leg however high, okay? It can be a hinge off the floor, it can be in line with your hip. And then we're just gonna do those 5 little hamstring curls, okay? So right heel towards your right glute and extend the leg back out. Good, squeeze for 2 and release. Good, squeeze for 3 and release. 4, release, last one, squeeze for 5. Good, release. And then right foot lowers down. Use all that strength to rise up, gait pose, right hand down, left arm up towards the sky or a little bit over towards the right leg. Good. Ooh, nice full breath. Okay, great. Let's rise back up. Okay, we're going to spin back towards that right leg. Again, take your time. Okay, we're going to come back into that low lunge. Good, and we're gonna keep walking that right foot out to the right, so you can come into lizard's pose. And you're gonna make space here so your hips have somewhere to go, okay? You can lower down, you can stay up. Again, remember, you know, as you're adjusting here, we're not gonna stay super long, but just enough, you know, to get into the hips. And then again, if you wanna add the quad stretch again, you can bend that left knee. You do not have to grab your foot. Again, I'm going to kind of just keep it bent today. But again, if you want to, it'll be the right hand that grabs your back leg. Good, nice full deep breath. All right, 5 breaths, I think so. Okay, let's go and extend back out. Take your time, walk that right leg back underneath you. And again, we're just gonna make our way into downward facing dog. And again, you are free. I didn't really have any, you know, planned vinyasa, so you're welcome to throw in a vinyasa if you want. You can also skip all of this. Child's pose, again, is also an option, okay? Good, everyone. Slight bend of the knees. Walk your hands towards your feet. And hang out here in your forward fold. Swinging or swaying from side to side. Legs do not have to be straight. You can always keep them bent. So get a really nice big stretch for your hamstrings. Take your time. We're going to slowly rise up to come up to standing. And again, nice and slow. Arms will reach up over your head. Good. Exhaling, hands at your heart center. Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to come into a little baby chair pose. And again, this is just for balancing. This is going to be our little balancing sequence. Feet can be together or they can be about hip distance apart. Okay, I'm going to practice today hip distance apart. But again, if you feel more stable with your feet together, that's fine. Okay. And we're going into just a baby chair, okay? So we're just gonna sit back, nice and gentle. Arms can reach forward, okay? Don't feel like you have to like go into chair pose, okay? Just like a nice gentle chair. It's really all about the feet that we're gonna work on, okay? And again, if you need to hold on to something, hands on the hips, that's fine, okay? We're gonna lift the heels up, okay? And then we're gonna straighten the legs, okay? And we're gonna lower the heels down. Woo, I know a lot. Easy chair, gentle chair, okay? You can even hold on to a chair if you need to. Heels lift up, and again, they can be small lift, balancing. Straighten the legs with the heels lifted, and lower back down. Easy chair, here's 3. We're gonna do 5 of these, okay? Heels lift up. Legs straighten. Heels lower down. Here's 4, easy chair. Heels lift. Keep the heels lifted as you straighten the legs as best as you can. And heels lower down. Last time, here's 5. Sitting back, soft chair. Lazy boy chair. Heels lift up. Good, legs straighten. And lower back down. Okay, good. We're going to reverse the whole thing, okay? So we're going to start by lifting the heels. We're going to sit in our chair with our heels lifted, okay, and again, easy chair, soft chair, and then lower the heels down, and then we're going to straighten the legs. Good, we're going to lift the heels back up. Sitting back, soft chair. Good, heels drop down, and then straighten the legs. Good, lifting up again, heels lift up, easy chair. Heels lower down, straighten the legs. Good, just 2 more times, y'all, okay? Heels lift, bend the knees, little gentle chair, drop the heels, chair pose, and then straighten the legs. Last one, heels lift up. All about that balance, all about those ankles. Sit back into your soft chair. Good, drop your heels. Good, rise back up. And release your arms down and just shake your legs out. Okay, good. We're gonna start towards the back of our mat, okay? A few, just a little more balancing here, okay, just for fun, okay? So coming into single leg mountain pose, right leg is going to lift up. And again, arms can be wherever you like. Single leg mountain pose, Tadasana. Good, right leg moves out to the right. Let that right foot land into tree pose. And again, it doesn't matter how high or low, just balancing in your tree. Good. Root down, rise up, feel yourself lift up and out of that left leg. Right knee is going to come back up towards your chest. We're going to reach the right leg, the right foot out. We're going to step onto it to grab our left foot. Coming into our little quad stretch, okay? Really try to hug your knees together as best as you can. Again, if you need to use, hang on a wall, a chair, your couch. Okay, anything you need, that's fine, okay? Try to hug that heel towards your glute. Good, and again, if you want to use both hands, you can use both hands. Good, just breathe. And again, try not to sit into this right leg. Try to lift up and out of the right ankle, foot, hip. Okay. Okay, this is the last balance. Okay, we're going to release that left foot forward. We're going to come into figure 4 glute stretch. Right ankle over your left knee. Okay, and again, we're going to sit back. Again, if you want to use your blocks, you can release your hands forward. Okay, and let this be a nice big stretch for that right glute. Okay, this one's intense, I know. Whew, breathe. Nice full deep breath. Okay, and then this is probably the hardest part, coming back the way that we came, right? So we're going to try to stack back up here in that figure 4 by like rising back up. Ooh, slowly releasing that right foot towards the left. Awesome. Good, and then all we're going to do is just turn around to do the left side going in the opposite, the other direction, okay? Woo, okay, I need to shake my legs out just a little bit. Okay, when you're ready, ground through your feet, Tadasana, mountain pose. As you are here lifting up through your chest, ground through the right foot, left leg lifts up, single leg mountain. And again, remember this can be low, it does not have to be high. Just finding your balance. Left knee moves to the left. Good. And then when you're ready, let your foot land in tree pose wherever it lands. Find your balance. Feel space, right? Feel a little bit of freedom here, right? Trees can move and flexible or change with all kinds of weather, right? So can you. Good. Keep breathing, keep balancing. Soften the shoulders. Good. Left leg is just going to move forward again just to help you step forward and come into the quad stretch on the right side. So grabbing the right foot with one hand or both hands. And again, really try to hug your knees. You want your knees in line with each other, your heel towards your glute as best as you can. Good. Balancing here, breathing here. Okay. More deep breaths. Awesome. Okay, and then here's the hard one, right? That figure four stretch. Okay, take your time. Release the right foot. Reach towards the top of your mat. Left ankle over the right knee. Sit back. Okay, again, like that nice, soft, gentle chair. And then slowly release the hands down if you wish. You can release them onto a chair. Okay, I've got my trunk here. You can use a wall. Anything to help with balancing, but also to get that nice release to that left glute. Let's stay for about 2 more deep breaths. Okay, good. And then take your time, okay? Coming back up the way that you came, okay? So you want to find that figure four chair pose as best as you can. Rising up, left leg towards your right. Good. Shake your legs out. And I'm just going to stay in this direction, okay? Arms reach up over your head. Exhaling, folding forward, a forward fold. Gently, we're going to step back, plank pose, okay? Take your time. Come into plank. And again, plank your way. You can always bend your knees. Good, and let's hold here. Just a few deep breaths. Feel yourself press away from the floor. Whew, we did no vinyasas today. My legs are shaking. Okay, a few more deep breaths. Keep breathing. Okay, take a nice big deep inhale in. Exhaling, shift forward to lower all the way down. Nice strong push up all the way onto the mat. Good, bend your knees, little window wipers. Okay, great, you guys. Okay, go ahead and straighten your legs out. Hands under your shoulders. And let's come up into Cobra Pose, okay? So roll your shoulders, lift your chest and your heart. Okay, you can stay here in low Cobra, or if you want to straighten the arms halfway or all the way, you can come up to that big back bend if you'd like, okay? So we're gonna hang out here. Good, just breathe. Good, you can always walk your hands forward if you need to. Okay, good. Take a nice big deep inhale in, exhale, lower down. Okay, good. And then while we're on our stomachs here, we're gonna come into tree pose on the right side, okay? So right knee is gonna bend, and you're just gonna come into tree, okay? Your foot can be low. It does not have to be like your highest tree, okay? And then here in your tree pose, we're gonna come up into Sphinx pose. So you're gonna lift up onto your forearms with your right leg in tree. Okay, if this feels okay, you can straighten the arms. So we're coming into like a cobra tree. And again, only if that feels okay on your back. If not, stay low or just stay in your tree pose, okay? Good, inhale in, exhale, slowly bend the elbows, gently release down, straighten the right leg, and then we're just gonna come into tree pose on that left side. Left knee bends, out to the left, coming up into cobra. Or excuse me, I'm sorry, Sphinx pose, I apologize. So start out low and then you can come into cobra if you want to, okay? Good, and then you can straighten the arms and we're holding here. And again, you can move in those kramas, move in those stages. You can stay in tree, you can stay in Sphinx, or you can straighten the arms, okay? Good, take a nice big deep inhale in, exhale, lower back down, straighten the legs out, good. Okay. So we're kind of moving through like the balancing sequence on our stomach, okay, for back bending. Okay, so we're gonna bend the right knee. Okay, we're gonna take the right hand, the right arm. We're gonna sweep our hand. So we're gonna grab the outside of our right ankle. Your thumb is going to face down, okay? Good, and then here we are in the quad stretch. Okay, notice if you're leaning to the right, try to press into that left hip. Okay, to keep nice and square. You can keep your forehead down onto that left hand, or you can always lift up into like a little Sphinx pose as well too, if that feels better, or you get a deeper quad stretch, you're welcome to lift up a little bit. Okay, exhale, release. And we're just going to switch to the other side. Left knee bends. Okay, left arm reaches around, thumb faces down. You're gonna grab the outside of your left ankle and foot. Quad stretch. And again, try not to lean to the left. Try to, kind of keep square or even weight. You can do that by really pressing to that right hand, or you can even lift up again into like a little half Sphinx pose, if that feels okay. Okay, awesome. And then gently release your foot, release back down. And we're just gonna flip over onto our backs, okay, so that we can do figure four on our back to finish out our balancing, our balancing sequence on the ground, okay? Good, so just flipping over, bending your knees, taking that right ankle, crossing it up and over your left knee. Okay. And then go ahead and fold your legs in. You can use your hands or you don't have to use your hands here at first. Okay. And again, keeping this idea of, we did some like hip strengthening, some circles and some stability work, okay? And doing that, and even with our head actually too, right? We did some circling as well, and our shoulders. We're gonna do the same thing in our figure four, okay? And again, these circles can be really small, okay? And I tend to like do a lot of things really dramatically just so you can see me on your screen. But know that you don't have to move that big. A lot of this stuff is really, it's small, it's minor, and maybe like if I walked in, I can see you doing circles, but we're gonna circle this figure four, the whole shape, both legs. We're gonna circle it like 3 or 4 times in one direction. Again, I'm moving a little bit bigger just so you can see, but you can move smaller than this. You don't have to use your hands. You can use your hands, whatever feels good. Okay, and then we're gonna reverse the circle. Moving as a whole, the whole like lower body circling. Okay, and then again, once you kind of done that a couple times, you're just gonna come to that neutral figure four and then just hanging out here in the stretch. And you may notice that like, oh, you know what? I might need to lean just a pinch to the left so I get a deeper stretch to the outer right glute. Okay. Yeah, just notice like what habits, you do, these poses we've been doing for a long time, and it's easy to kind of go on autopilot. We really want to tune in, right? So we can find that space. We can, live that freedom. Okay, that we're choosing to practice in a certain way. We're choosing to find space in our body. We're choosing to free up that tension. Okay. Right, and that can resonate and move off of the mat as well too, right? Ooh. All right, I really needed that standing figure four and this figure four. Yows. Okay, let's go ahead and lower down, and then we'll just switch sides, okay? Left ankle over the right knee, and again, folding the legs in towards your chest. Arms or no arms, again. And then again, this is really small, subtle, 3 or 4 circles, the whole lower body moving. Okay, noticing how these circles and these different angles maybe change the stretch, or maybe you're discovering something new about your hips. Okay, and then we'll reverse the circle. And then once you've done that a few times, or maybe you did like 5 times in one direction, you come into that neutral place. Okay, you can interlace the hands around the right hamstring. And just breathe. Okay, I think I did pretty good with my 2-page list of all the things I wanted to do. I think I just left out one thing, actually. That's pretty good. Okay, y'all, so go ahead and release your legs. Give yourself a nice big hug. Hug your knees into your chest. If you'd like to come into happy baby pose, awesome, go for it. Okay, and we're just gonna come into a real quick Shavasana, okay? It's really just to find ourselves getting a reset here, okay? So go ahead and extend your legs out. And give your legs a little wag. You can shake your legs out. And then let's place one hand on our heart, one hand on our navel. And just breathe into your hands. Just like we did at the beginning of class. And just a little quote from Mr. Iyengar is, yoga allows you to find a new kind of freedom that you may have not have ever known existed. Good. So take a nice big deep inhale in through your nose. Big exhale out through your mouth. And slowly just start to move, your fingers and your toes. Maybe start to circle your wrists and your ankles a few times. Gently shift your head from side to side. Stretch out, reach those arms up over your head. Give yourself a nice big stretch. And again, hug your knees into your chest, or you can even come into happy baby pose if that feels good. And when you're ready, you'll slowly come on up to a seated position. And again, just take your time. Let your head be the last thing that arrives. And just place your palms together at your heart center. Just take a moment to just acknowledge and recognize all the space and possibilities that you've created. And slowly just begin to smile in honor of your practice. Namaste.